tell you, really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. Awesome. Yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Cool.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Oh, that's interesting. I love Facebook. Facebook's so awesome. It's not.
That's sarcasm, by the way.
Yeah. Hey, guys, keep talking so I can fix this. Thanks, guys. Hey, good morning. It's we're Tech Shamans. I guess I'm the only person that can talk in the morning.
Yeah,
well, you always open the intro, and so we're deferring to you.
But don't defer to me.
But that's Adam. And Adam knows computer stuff.
That's right.
He does know computer.
And I'm Anthony, and I know marketing stuff. And this is, yes, I'm still Anthony, and I still know marketing stuff.
Do you know marketing stuff, Anthony?
This is John. And John knows video stuff and audio. It's pretty much that whole like experiential media thing. That's John. And together, we are Tech Shamans.
Thank you.
We like to take the stuff that we're doing over here, researching it, developing it, using it in business, and putting it out here on a video so that you guys get a chance to get a peek inside our professional brains, because you don't really want to be inside our personal brains. That would be a very, very bad place to be. But today we have several things we're going to be discussing. There are, of course, John's regular updates on what's going on in the tech world. Adam's got a few very cool things, and Adam and I are going to decide right now which one of us goes first. So, you want to take it away for a little bit?
Sure.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody's heard so far, but
Thanks,
Microsoft has just started talking about the new Xbox Series X, which is...
Oh, yeah. I have that somewhere.
Yes.
I know I do.
Pretty neat little machine. It is technically being priced at around $600, which is the average price of a custom-built gaming computer. And according to the specs on it, it's a neat little machine.
So it's not. Okay, so it's basically a PC, but you can't use it like a PC, right?
Can't use it like a PC, but because the Xbox does run a custom Windows 10 operating system in it, they can use all the same components as a PC. So, and that's why the Xbox is technically all PC components.
Right.
Except for some things that are just custom made for them, like their AMD processor. That's a custom AMD APU, which has 8 cores, and it also has a custom built GPU built inside the processor. The machine is going to have 16 gigs of RAM. Almost every gaming computer built usually has 16 gigs of RAM, which is great. They are going to have a custom built solid state drive, which is the NVMe, which is a smaller, faster than standard solid state hard drives. It's going to be a custom chipset, so it's probably going to be made right onto the motherboard itself of the unit. Everything's going to be all custom. But that kind of rolls into the fact that, these are all the same specs as a low-end gaming computer, which can be used across the board for anything. It can be used in offices, it can be used at home. You don't have to have just because it's called a gaming computer doesn't necessarily mean it's just made for gaming. And I get a lot of people that get that confusion right off the bat. They'll come in, they'll say they want something for, music production, they want something for video production, they want something for that's, good with QuickBooks, fast, and is able to keep up with stuff. And, somebody brings up the word gaming computer to them and they get all confused and they start coming to us and asking questions about that.
Right.
And, it's just technically, it's just a higher powered PC that is capable of doing more than what your average OEM machine or computer at
It's a class of computer, not a type of computer. Is really what it boils down to.
It truly is a class. Yes.
So do you think they're going to make it eventually where it can be turned into an actual PC?
I wouldn't doubt somebody's going to reverse
Someone will hack it.
Yeah, somebody's going to
So
reverse
what is it
engineer
it can't do?
What is it it can't do?
Yeah.
That's not a word processor. It can't toast for you.
Well, neither,
Well, and you're not.
neither can any edition of Windows 10.
But you're not
unless
going to
it's
go.
unless it's a piece of software that it can toast.
Yes, it
But-
definitely could toast it for
That would be funny. So, but I mean, you're not going to. It's not like you can go download Microsoft Windows.
No.
I mean, Office on it and
Right.
turn it into a work computer.
Remember,
blah blah blah.
yeah, what it is remember Microsoft builds the software. So when they have something built custom, like the processor, for instance, and they encode the coding and stuff into it, it will be made so it cannot run Windows 10. They'll put it in there so that Windows 10 won't load. We've seen machines where I'll give you for instance, client had a custom built machine and wanted to put Windows 8 on it, and the hilarious thing is, it was an AMD Ryzen system. Okay, when the first generation came out. And they specifically wanted Windows 8, and they had the license for Windows 8 to go ahead and install because they wanted to run a specific Sims game.
Right.
Not a problem, right? And Microsoft being a software company, you should be able to put on anything you
Of course.
Well, you
want.
would think.
Well, because the Ryzen was so new and we installed the operating system, they said, we're sorry, but it is not compatible with this processor. Therefore, we are not going to allow you to have any Windows updates. So remember, they can go ahead and code out specific information in and out of the operating systems. Therefore, that's, I would say that with that custom chipset, yeah, you wouldn't be able to run Windows 10 on it unless you run it in some kind of Linux virtual machine that somebody reversed engineered, the system, figured out the passcodes to get into the machine, and.
Yeah.
But hey,
Okay.
we could always build you a gaming computer that really matches the specs of that machine or larger.
That's kind of what I was getting at.
Yeah.
Might as well go with the custom computer
You're right.
that matches pretty much the Xbox settings, but
Exactly.
you get to do whatever you want with it.
Yes, and you
you're
don't
done.
have to go crazy right off the bat. You can start off. There's some basics that you start off with, the lay the foundation for something that you can add to at a later time.
Well, when we build our streaming machines, there's things that once we have, we'll buy a machine. It's got Windows 10 Professional on it, type of thing. We put our hardware in it, whole 9 yards, and then we go turn stuff off.
Right.
But before, we were able to turn a lot of stuff off. Now, Windows 10 does not. Well, you can do it, but a little micro update, and it all turns it back on.
It all turns back on again.
But yeah, we used to make that thing. Make them where things just there's functions inside there that we didn't want ever.
Yeah.
Because it would interfere and take away from processing power for streaming.
Exactly.
So so I get it. They've built the machine to play games on. They didn't build to run processing software or chitter chatter on the internet type of thing.
Right.
Plus, okay, so we've found out last week that now you can actually VPNs are being hacked.
Yes.
So is there any virus problems with potentially coming for the Xbox? If they're making them this.
That's, it is running the core operating system of Windows 10. It's most likely a slimmed down version, just like they used to have for, for kiosks and things like that for Windows XP back in the day and everything. So the whole core of the operating system is still there. So there's no reason why something like that couldn't happen.
Well,
it's just a matter
but it
of
would have to
time.
come in from some kind of input source.
It would
So
have to come
how
in
can
through
you
their network.
input into your Xbox
Chat.
that doesn't come from via chat? Okay, while you're playing.
Via chat, it could come in through malicious, like external hard drives. You expand your storage on your Xbox,
Right.
for instance. The bootloader off of that storage device, they plug it in and launches a bootloader. Somebody can get into the Xbox, the Microsoft network, and during their patching. Microsoft updates the Xboxes just like they do Windows, and they can have a patch go through that infects every Xbox out there. And anything could happen, unfortunately.
Okay.
So it is possible.
Everything's possible. Anything's possible.
So okay. So while we're on computers,
Yes.
all right. Let's talk about, because I like what you sent me in this thing where what you're talking about today is so you're building a computer, right? And I've seen this happen more times than I can shake a stick at, literally, and I can shake a long stick a long time. I need a computer for the office. I'm just going to go buy the cheapest thing on the shelf. Because all it's got to do is Word and Excel or blah, blah, blah.
The biggest misconception is the
$400 computer.
it's the cloud.
No,
Cloud
yeah.
is the biggest misconception. They assume that you can buy the cheapest computer in the store because most of my services that I run are cloud-based. Back in the day when they talked about cloud, yes, I could, some things were. But today, they run huge programs and scripts in the cloud that still require graphics or processing power from the computer. So unless you want to sit there for 6 or 7 days while you're trying to input data into this machine that should have only taken you 4 hours, and you're trying to keep up, and your computer stops responding, that's the reason these scripts are running in the cloud in the browser itself,
Right.
and it's loading up the machine. The machine still requires processing power to run.
Yep.
So don't just get the lowest machine that you can find on the street just because you have cloud software or your cloud-based business. It's just not going to work. i5 minimum, AMD A10 minimum, and then go from there if you want.
Because you don't realize how much you're taxing your system. And I mean, just to run a parallel,
Yeah.
I didn't realize. I have an iPhone 7, okay, and it's finally nearing the point, and I'm in love with the 11, so it's going to be soon. But you didn't hear me say that, baby. But it's amazing how hot it gets.
Yes.
Because so many of the new apps and just things that it has to do pull the CPU down, and your phone has a CPU just like anything else.
Exactly.
And the more you push it, the hotter it gets. The shorter the lifespan. So you may be getting a $400 computer, a $500 computer, but you're going to be pushing it beyond its operational range just by doing cloud-based work, and you're going to burn it up fast.
We had a client that said, the internet in this building is running very slow, and it's happening across the board. Well, get in the office, and the gentleman purchased all the same computer, all AMD, the E2 processor, which is comparable to like an Intel Atom processor, which is like a low-end laptop processor,
Right.
in an all-in-one computer. And they bought the same computer across the board.
Right.
And there was absolutely
There was a reason he got a
nothing-
deal on them.
Exactly, and there was absolutely nothing wrong with their internet speed.
Yep.
Their internet was perfectly fine. It was just the processing. Just launching Google Chrome launched the processor up to 100%, pegged it right off the bat, and it pegged it there for about 30 seconds or so.
Yeah.
That's a long time. That's
So
a
the
long
moral of this
time.
story is don't use Google Chrome.
No, well, unfortunately, everything they needed was in Chrome. So, but yeah, moral of the story, same thing with if you want a gaming computer, you don't have to get something that's flashy, but a custom-built computer can be a lifesaver for a business. Or anybody who's has something specific to do that they just a regular computer doesn't seem to really cut the mustard for them.
Well, I think my personal opinion, if you're going to do something, you do it right the first time. So
Exactly.
that's the way to do it. If you're going to buy a computer, you buy it with all the right specs, because a business computer should be the same as a gaming computer, as far as I'm concerned, or a streaming computer, or whatever. It needs to have balls to do what it needs to do.
And much of these OEM companies too, they don't make them upgradable. So you can just go out and buy a specific one that matches specs, but you're not going to be able to upgrade it. You're not going to be able to do anything to it. So you get what you get, and you don't throw a fit.
Right.
That's what's gonna
I
happen.
just the days of going and buying a $500 computer off the shelf are just stupid.
Yeah.
That's just because your return on your investment. Your return on your investment is going to cost you more than the initial purchase.
Exactly.
So if you build for the future, and go, look, if I buy this today and it's got enough beef to carry me 4 or 5 years, well, that's good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
4 or 5 years out of a computer is all you're going to get today anyway. It's not like the days back in the day where you could get 6-7 years out of a computer.
And that's why Apple builds the way they do.
Right.
Some people don't. I mean, unfortunately, their stuff is proprietary, and they narrow it down. But when you buy an Apple product, you're buying the best of the best hardware that's available today. A lot of times, it's even more advanced than what's normal mainstream.
Right.
And then you can last 5 years easy.
Yeah, I would rather spend $2,500 on. No, that sounds like a lot, $2,500, but it's really not. Not in my world.
No.
A streaming machine can cost us anywhere from $6 to $10 grand.
Remember, it wasn't that long ago that your little compact with your little Intel Celeron, which was loaded up with your monitor and your printer and everything, was a $1,599 machine.
Yeah.
And back in the day, there was a reason for that. Why has it gone backwards?
Yeah.
Think about it.
I have an ancient Asus machine, and I got an open box special on it at Best Buy for $649 or something like that. I still use it, and I have to tell you that it's because it was a $1,400 computer at the time, and I bought that in 2011, and it's still running. Okay, and it still runs what I need it to run, and it just sits in the corner, and it runs a couple pieces of software that I need. But that's it. I don't ask it to do anything big or major,
Right.
but she still runs like a clockwork. Okay, so you pay for it, and you'll have it for a long time.
Yes.
You don't have to go buy another one.
Right. We have a beast
next
back
month.
there that streams, and that thing costs us almost $8 grand to build, and it'll only last me for another 2 years, if that.
Yeah.
But that's the nature of the beast that we're in. So.
Exactly. Every
yeah.
every piece of demand is climbing. It's
is.
Moore's law. It's doubling every 18 months.
Yeah.
And so your computer has to be able to handle, not today's, but it has to be able to handle twice what today's is if you want it to last more than 18 months.
Right.
So that's what you got to look at.
Start off with a good foundation, you can grow it too.
Right, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, you make it always expandable or upgradable, you're going to be fine. A case is a case.
Exactly.
Unless you're a monster gamer or you do streaming like us, where we always start off with a monster case, and I have to make sure I have lanes, I have to make sure everything, but it's always upgradable. And the good thing about hardware now is they're making hardware simpler.
Yeah.
In my personal opinion, there's some stuff that for me to put 4 lines of 4K in my computer a year or 2 years ago, I had to have, 4Ks, that means it's 2, 4, 6, 8. I'd have to have four input cards because 4K eats up 2 of those lines. Right? So now they came out with Blackmagic came out with a brand new card, 4K input, single lane.
Wow.
But it eats up virtual 4 lanes.
Right.
Because you got to have, I'm like, it's amazing.
Yeah, but if you had the processing power for it.
Again, you got to build a computer to go
That's the
ahead.
key. Yep.
So, speaking of video, put video up online. Did you know YouTube's almost 14 years old now?
Wow.
Yep. And they're dying.
Wow.
That's what creators are saying. Creators are saying that because of the new policies that have gone in place, and this is just, and a lot of creators are thinking that's just, it's been growing pains and blow. It's just, I think I said this last week is, you start on the scale over here and you have your scale go over here. Well, YouTube used to be over here, light, easy, no problem, no big deal. Whatever you put up, whatever you put up. Now, instead of kind of going here, they've gone over here. And now it's killing creators because of the way they structured their channels and they structured their content, is because of the COPA law has now actually made it where these people like PewDiePie and all because young kids are watching this cat,
of course,
because of his language, because of his rants, and because of what he does. Now he no longer is kid friendly, so they just sliced off a chunk of his viewers and his, or you demonetize, so you can't make money on there.
Yeah.
So
And
that's what a lot of these guys are doing, and and what their complaint is you went too far, and now it's hurt us. But so eventually I think it'll be they'll come back to the meter at about right here. But in the meantime, all these people here that were making bank not making bank anymore because they can't monetize, or they just have to cut that. They literally you have to be 18 years or older to watch. Now, me personally, I don't think this is YouTube's problem. I don't think it's Facebook's problem. I don't think it's Twitter's problem. I don't think it's Twitch's problem. I don't think it's Vimeo's problem. I think this is a societal problem.
Yes.
I think if, us as society, look, if some guy puts a freaking rant up there about how you suck and blah, 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 and he's calling you out, Well, you know what you do? You go unsubscribe and block.
That's it.
It's, you know, everybody keeps asking me why my foot's in a boots because I'm stomping on snowflakes. It's killing me. People have got to grow a backbone. I mean, I've never seen a society. It's, you know, and it's kind of funny. They did a new study from, you know who the most offended generation is now? The boomers.
Really?
Yep. Sure did. They did a whole study on it, and the boomer generation is the more butthurt than anybody right now, because I think they're more butthurt because they're tired of bending over backwards to the crap. That's just my personal opinion. And now, I'm not a boomer. I am on that verge. I am like on the verge of boomer Gen X. I think I'm like 2 years, or actually not even that. I'm 1 year away from being a boomer or being a Gen X. I'm actually what I call where I grew up is called the latchkey generation. Latchkey generation.
Yep.
Because we were brought up by single parents or parents that got divorced, and so you lived with one of them.
Working parents.
And they worked, so we learned. So my generation, we know how to cook, clean. We're self-sufficient, which the new generation is not. Oh my God! I mean, they're not. It's really sad. But because YouTube, you know, and I get it. They're trying to be proactive instead of reactive, but they went proactive to the scale of it's just
to reactivity.
Yeah. It's crazy. But I just don't think it's YouTube. Look, YouTube is a great service and they offer. I mean, you're nowhere else are you going to be able to store terabytes and terabytes and terabytes of video,
Right.
for free.
Well, I think that's going to change too.
Well, I do too. I think they're going to start charging, even if it's $9.99 a month or 99 cents. Even if it's 99 cents a month, that's billions of dollars.
It's $1 billion a month. Yeah.
So they can expand, but again, let's just stay. That's not true. I see more people in the early 20s lose their minds. And Brad. So Brad said on the slide, that's not. But it is true now because they just did a massive study, and the boomer generation, for some reason, is getting more butthurt than anybody.
Well, they're reacting and they're saying, "Okay, fine. You want to be this way? I'll be this way too. How do you like it?
That's exactly what it is.
How do you like it?
Yeah,
and
they're
that's
like, we'll just take.
They're like, fine. I'm through taking the lumps.
Yeah.
Okay, and so now I'm going to kick back.
Right. So.
But,
I can't stand polls. They're so inaccurate. It's all perspective.
No.
Come on, Brad. They're not really. They're just dead on all the time.
They're perfect.
You know, but again, I don't blame YouTube for doing what they did, but I just don't think it's you. Personally, I think as a society we should be just more policing ourselves than anything.
Yeah.
But that just goes to show you how there's just no self-control left.
No.
I'm going to bring up. Yes, I absolutely agree, but I also think that the YouTube monetization issue, is a backdoor along with the December 10th new user agreement that says if it is not profitable for YouTube to keep your content up, they will eliminate it. Now they're going through and they're cutting the purse strings on these channels and broadcasters who are, they've been monetizing like hell, and YouTube gets to keep half or 3/4 of that money. So now if they cut the monetization, these people who are doing 1 million views are no longer profitable for YouTube to keep up at all. Right. And so you're going to find these people who have, 1 million viewers, whatever, a month, they're going to get cut off. They're going to disappear, because they aren't going to be allowed to be monetized, so YouTube cannot determine them to be profitable. And so you're going to find a whole swath of people that are just going to disappear from YouTube very soon. Yeah, that's my take on it.
So back when we first started Tampa Bay Multimedia and WeBeam TV, we've been streaming since 2001-ish, right? I am personally think, back in the day, all my video that I wanted to restream was on my server. Yeah. I wasn't paying some CDN to do it. I wasn't paying YouTube. YouTube didn't exist back then. So all this we were doing was on our own nickel and own dime. When we moved over to GoDaddy was the one that said, "Hey, look, we need to get you better adjusted, blah blah blah." So they pushed us to YouTube. I hated YouTube. I still hate YouTube, but I had to use it as it's a device, because if you don't, you get pinged. You get because Google wants you using YouTube. But if you don't use YouTube, your SEO or your SRO doesn't get ranked correctly, and it's a big. So I'm now you're listening to Handle. Sorry, I didn't mean to call you out on air. Other side. So it's a necessary means, but now because everybody saw how profitable data is, that's where you make your money. That's all these CDNs coming in. The CDN stands for Content Delivery Network. So they're like, oh, park all your stuff on me, like Vimeo. Okay, yeah. Vimeo is technically is a CDN. It's a little more. It's an easier CDN to use. They're very expensive. I would never use them. But back in the day, we had. Matter of fact, we're actually we're going to become a CDN ourselves for the podcast world.
Yep.
We're starting WeBeam podcasts. So all these people that don't understand how to do a podcast and how to get it all set up, we're taking that burden off. And we're also making it so a lot of people go to their podcast and they go to iTunes or they go to iHeart or blah, blah, blah. And once you get into iHeart and once you get into iTunes and stuff like that, you get lost. Easily get lost. Because it's back to the YouTube world. Now you're back in a whole world of crap. A shiny cat video, and next thing you know, what was I here for? Or, and be honest with you, a set of boobs. A set of boobs will distract somebody. Oh, look at that. And the next thing you know, well, what did I come to YouTube to find? So WeBeam Podcast is going to make it where I get to go on there. There's all the podcasts. It will never be as big as iTunes. It will never be as big as iHeart. Well, maybe we will. I don't know. And I'm not recreating the wheel.
But that's not the goal.
No, I'm not. I'm making it where it's easy to find a podcast, easy. So, but anyway, that's a CDN. So I think YouTube, the day of YouTube is. I think they're going to start coming and they're going to start charging. I think YouTube is going to start charging. So if they're not making money on you because of your content, they're going to start making money on you to be a CDN.
Yep.
But they don't have to charge what everybody else is charging because they've been doing this for years. They almost like 1 billion users, something like that. I think is what it was.
1.2.
Yeah. So for them, leaving you up and charging you 99 cents a month.
That's the users. That's not the people making the videos, though. Content creators is much lower than that. So how much would you have to charge the content creators, the people who want to upload their videos? Okay, the people who have 1 million views a month. How much would you charge them?
So what do you think? What do you think? What do you think the ratio is from creators versus just users?
And that's what I'm going to find out for you right now.
Because I don't think it'd be that far off. Well, yeah, and Rob's in my ear going, they get a percentage. Yeah, we understand that, but when it comes to whether they're a creator for YouTube or whether they're a creator or they're just a person that just goes and watches, I bet
there are 50 million.
Huh?
50 million out of 1.2 billion. You're talking 5% are the creators.
Of creators.
Yep,
right.
95% are watchers.
Which means that's why that YouTube charges people to run them ads is because they're making bank then.
Exactly.
Right? So I don't know. I think they would cut their nose off to spite their face to get rid of all their creators.
Yeah, which is, well,
Personally.
I think what they're going to do is they're going to pick and choose which creators they get rid of, and that's my point. They're going to decide what's on message for YouTube and what is off message, because they've all now jumped from being straight CDNs, content delivery.
Right.
They are now describing themselves as content curators.
Right.
And they are taking responsibility for what is on their networks, and they are telling people, "Go away, we don't want you."
But I just don't think they're going to do that. I don't think they're going to raise the price. I think if they charge, dude. If it's just 99 cents across the board, it's billions of dollars a month.
Yes, it is. But who's going to pay 99 cents to go to YouTube?
Well, think about the mobile platform. When you want to listen to some of the music or something on YouTube, you can't do it on the phone, on the app, because the minute the phone goes to sleep, the
Goes
app
off.
stops, the stream
Well,
stops.
you,
Or you switch out,
and here's the thing.
have to pay to get it
I bet.
installed.
I bet. Did you know that? Do you know that YouTube actually hosts? I would probably say half of people's podcasts, the audio version, not the video, but the actual audio version.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, you can actually do a podcast and host it on YouTube, and then bring
And then
it
you
into
use that feed in order to fill the other
to
guys.
fill your other guy's stuff, right? So
Yeah, but if you don't have a moving image, YouTube is going to, I mean, obviously they're not going to rank you at all because you're not video. And they are spanking people for having static images for 29 minutes or whatever
Well,
it is that you're
there's a
podcasting.
couple of channels that my kids will listen to because they want to study or they want, and that's just very positive music in the background, that they put that on. And these channels stream 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Just pure music.
Wow.
And they have a static image. But they've got millions and millions and millions of followers.
Yeah, they
That's
may have started before YouTube started cutting back on that, which is only the last year or two.
Facebook did that. Facebook did that a while back.
The crackling fire and Christmas music
Yeah,
scene.
that's they started penalizing you for a static ad because the way back then they went back the way they were people got smart and go, videos gets more viewership than a static image.
Right.
So we'll just put a static image with some
And-
underlying
oh, yeah.
music, and it turned into a
And
video.
Video
Well,
won't know it's a video. Yeah.
well, now their software knows that.
Yeah.
So it's like you get penalized for that stuff. It's not true real video. You start you don't get as much of it.
Yeah.
But anyway, we've been on YouTube way too long. So
Bad. Yeah, see, they already pulled
let's
you
see.
in.
Yeah. Billboard is changing its albums charts. Now this is I find this interesting. I find this interesting because I was
Count YouTube streams?
I was actually I was in the audio world way before I was in the video world, and working with the companies that I worked with, it was a big deal for our Billboard chart numbers to be right.
Right.
Well, now the Billboard is going to change its album charts to count YouTube streams.
I thought we were getting off YouTube.
Well, we're not. Well, we are, but
that's the
it's-
problem. See
We
what I
can't
mean?
get
Yeah.
off it.
But this right here goes to tell you that
black hole.
because the music is on YouTube. It, like we have one. Jennifer Parker said, her kid's 9, and it's all about YouTube.
Yep.
So, but now you can. If I want to find what a song sounds like, I used to go to iTunes and I would play it for free before I knew I wanted to buy it. Now I just go to YouTube.
Yeah.
Now sometimes they got some dumbass video up there that you're like, I would never. I would if my mother can't watch it, it shouldn't be. You shouldn't have it. I'm just saying.
Baby Shark.
Baby Shark. Oh my God! Don't play that. Please don't play that song. But because YouTube got so big, Billboard is like, whoa, they never counted those plays in the number, and I think if they backed up a few years, you'd be amazed at some of the top songs that Billboard said were top songs were not top songs.
But
Yeah.
it says they're going to count YouTube streams. It's gonna be really bothersome that you're going to see some guy playing Minecraft on there and be like top Billboard, number 1 viewer rating, and he's playing Minecraft. Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the content of today.
But again, it's just that's YouTube. You got that just shows you the strength of YouTube.
Yeah.
So
No, the strength of Alphabet.
yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so now we're going to completely get off YouTube. You watch this story's going to have YouTube in it.
YouTube
okay.
will be.
So researchers fooled the Chinese facial recognition terminals with just a mask.
Great.
Now, okay, so
That's
this is in your iPhones, boys and girls. It's facial recognition. Mm-hmm. I mean, you don't have to. You can turn it off. Mm-hmm. But for me, if I can go full it with a mask, all they've got to do is if someone can jailbreak your phone and get an image of you, or you can get an image of you offline somewhere, which we're all on. So social media has every picture of every person ever. Even the people that go, well, I don't have a Facebook account. No, but your picture is sitting on somebody's phone, or someone took a picture of you because they want to show you off and blah blah blah, or they want to introduce you. You're on there. So now all you gotta do is just go make a mask, and then
got a 3D printer. We're good to go.
Yep.
I want a 3D
It's
printer.
so much
I really
easier
do
than
want a 3D
it was ever supposed to be when you think about it.
Yep.
Because, I mean, you watch what they had to go through to make, the mask that was perfect, or the fingerprints or whatever, and apparently all you need is a couple of pictures and a 3D printer. You're done. You're in.
Wow.
Wow.
Yep. So speaking of China, Apple adverts 150 bump in iPhone prices following Trump trade deal with China. How
So the
about
price
that?
will not go up $150 now.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Like I said, I'm getting ready to get it.
Apple's probably really pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
Because that will increase volume significantly.
Yeah, I don't know.
As an early Christmas present to Apple. Oh my God.
Apple iPhones could double in price and people would still buy them.
Yeah.
I think
It is what it
doubling
is.
would be a little tough.
Yeah, it's a little
'cause
crazy,
$2,000 for a phone right now, that's a little much. I mean, that better come with, like a warranty and oil changes or something. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So I was gonna. Let's talk about some of these because I've been kind of because I want to talk about something here in a second that is,
We'll come back to it.
scary.
No, marketing tip for today. You're out at a business meeting, a networking meeting, wherever you are. You meet somebody, they hand you their card, and if you're like 99% of the people in the world, the card goes in your pocket. The next thing you know, it's there in the dryer, trap in your dryer, and it's white, and you've lost it. Or better yet, you bring it home, it goes in a pile somewhere, you lose the cards. There are two ways you can deal with that. If you are you can shoot a picture on your phone, and you have a picture of the card, then hand it back to them. That's really eco-friendly. That's great. There are actually better ways to do that. I like TurboScan myself. To me, it's still one of the best apps out there because what it does is it does 3 images that then join together and remove all the variables, so you end up with an incredibly perfect, crisp image of whatever it is you're photographing. You can then use it to export as PDF. So you can email a PDF. So if you're out, you're working with somebody, you're signing a contract, you're making changes, you're doing all that stuff, you can use your phone as a scanner. Your copy is now a PDF. You can mail both of them to both people. You can give the client the original and walk away. Or you can, email them the PDF immediately and walk away. You have all that put together. That's TurboScan. There's a free version. I mean, it's like $5.99 or something for the paid version, and it is just worth it. One of the cool things about TurboScan is I realized that the first time I photographed a business card, it recognized it as a business card, created a folder called Business Cards within the TurboScan app. And then you can go ahead and just add business cards right in there whenever you want to. That is handy, but that is not the most technologically efficient way to do things. There is another site called CardCam, or another app called CardCam. It's cardcam.com.
It's behind the times. I love it.
CardCam is pretty cool because you can do the same thing. You can hold up the business card, you can click on it, but then even with the free version, you've got a winner. Yes, if you get the paid version, you can export it to Outlook or some of the big CRM apps or programs that are out there. But if you're just running like a MailChimp campaign, and so you want to add people to your MailChimp, you can use the free version, take the picture, proofread what it says is on the card, make sure the email address is right, and then you can go through when you're done, and at the end of the day or the end of the week or whenever you want to do it, you can select all the cards that you recorded over the week and export them as an Excel file. Ooh. Once they're an Excel file, you can then import them to MailChimp or whatever your email program is. And now you've just taken out all that manual entry stuff. I've still got a little bit of a downside with the CardCam, and that is that people are getting more and more creative with their business cards these days.
Oh, yeah.
And so you end up spending too much time editing the card while you're in there. But on the other hand, you can put it in and not do it at that moment. You still have the image of the card. You can go back in and edit your image later. So you can go back and make sure everything's right later on in the day when you have more time. But CardCam then allows you to export as Excel, and then the world is your oyster what you want to do with that data. And that's in their free version.
I've used World Card for probably 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always thought that was a great. See, I miss the days you could go like this. You have my information.
Yeah.
I still thought that was the best thing in the world.
Fist bump.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because that was a big thing in iPhone, is iPhones you could bump,
Yeah.
turn
You share
that
contacts.
function on,
Yeah.
and you just share your information.
Yeah. And you kind of still can do that with a lot of things in the
I don't
iPhone.
know. To be honest with you, it's been such a long time. I don't think the iPhones still bump.
I don't even know if anybody ever, that whole scheme, I think, kind of just slowly disappeared.
Yeah, I don't.
No,
yeah.
it's
Why did everybody stop? It is still there. I think
there is an awesome sharing function. Okay,
Oh, yeah,
the AirDrop function.
AirDrop.
Well, yeah.
and we use that all the time around
But you
the house,
can do that
around
with
the
your
office.
contact information.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, but with anybody in there, I mean, you can just. It's a great way to send photos,
As long
send
as
video.
it's iPhone to iPhone.
Yeah, it's iPhone to iPhone. It's fantastic. AirDrop is a dream.
And Android people, I really don't care about them. No, I'm just kidding.
No, we care about you.
You're like fat
Wow.
bottom girls who make the rock and roll go round. So it's a great song, man.
Yep, and with that boot, he steps on more snowflakes.
Yeah, there were
Boom,
some.
boom, boom.
Sorry.
You see all the falling snowflakes in the
Yeah,
background
that's
here. Right?
from John.
Yeah,
Sorry.
they're all underneath John getting
Sorry.
stepped on.
But at least you know where you stand with me. No, I don't know if he likes me or not. No. Very much. So an email still works
Oh, very
as
much
a marketing.
so. Very
See,
much so.
for a while there, I tell you what, I love these marketing companies that just, they perpetuated the falsehood of you got to have if your videos are not less than 3 minutes, no one will ever watch. That's crap. Emails are dying. It's got to be text, or it's got it went from email to text to QR codes to this is all it all works. It just what works for you.
Well, you bring up the email thing, and I'm going to take us down memory lane a little bit, okay? Back to the good old days when they came out with the Truth in Advertising law.
Oh.
Okay, the Truth in Advertising law protected consumers from false claims being made in commercials or ads in the newspaper or magazines, so that there were
Jennifer
severe
Parker
penalties.
says thumbs down on email.
Well, listen to this, Jennifer. So what happened was what few people actually knew was the Truth in Advertising law, which was going to be like, oh my God, it's going to destroy advertisers. It's like everything else you hear, total hyperbole. But the fact of the matter was, we were going to have the Truth in Advertising law was written by ad agencies on Madison Avenue.
Yeah.
It was completely created by the advertising and marketing industry to give advertising more credibility.
Right. Well, it's like the
And-
JD Power. You know who owns JD Power? GM.
Yeah, exactly. And so they ended up.
That's why they win so many.
People now go, oh, there's truth in advertising now. I'm going to believe everything I hear.
Yeah. No.
And that is extraordinary, because what we've now done is with the Can't Spam Act, which is the Anti-Email Spam Act. It's cleaned out a ton of the garbage, but now people almost have this feeling like, well, if it's in there, maybe it's actually legit and okay, and so it's more likely to get opened and read. And
Well,
that's what
and
you
the
end up with.
FCC a long time ago made it where your commercials couldn't be louder than programming.
Yeah.
That's all gone away.
Yep.
And then they also made it where, okay, so if I'm pouring some milk into a bowl of cereal, it has to be milk. Now, no, it's glue.
Yeah.
It's watered down,
Oh, yeah.
so it looks prettier. See, that all went away, and now it's all back. I'm kind of wondering why did they make the rules now, but now they just don't enforce
Because
it.
they had the desired effect, which is to establish the credibility in the advertising. It was never about protecting the consumer. It was about influencing the consumer into believing the advertising.
Right.
That was the point behind it.
it's
That may have been the same thing with the Can't Spam Act and also the new robocaller laws. Now every call you get must be legit, so I better answer it now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, odds of that happening.
Yeah, 'cause the FCC
we say that now, but in 5 or 10 years,
Right.
Because you know what? Before, the truth in advertising, everybody's like, you never believe a thing you see. Never believe. Oh, it doesn't matter if they do that. It's still going to be lies. And then 10 years later, it's like, oh my God, it can do that. That's cool. I have to buy it. Yeah, hey, it didn't do what it did in the commercial.
Throw it away.
Throw it away.
Right. Yeah, because the FCC proposes a $10 million fine on robocallers. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm yawning. Oof. On robocallers that spread misinformation. And this is on a California politician. So if it's going to get bad, if it's going to get that bad, they're going after that. I personally just think that, they should say, okay, what happened? Maybe I'm, and how, hey now, I got Anthony Cianci says, hey now, and print is not dead. Let's not forget that. You're right, Tony. No. Print is not dead.
Nope.
There's too many people that like that feeling of a magazine or a newspaper or in their hand.
Yeah.
That's a good...
You retain the information that you read off paper like 40% better than you retain information from a digital screen. And that's true of ebooks.
Right.
That's true of any online article. I don't know if you're like me, but I have trouble opening a magazine now because I try to click on the ad or zoom in. That's really weird, but I do that.
Get in there and
what's
make
wrong with this
what
thing?
The hell, man?
But yeah, no, it still works, no doubt about it. And when you coordinate it right, what we did with one ad campaign was we went ahead and we put an ad in the newspaper, okay, that had the URL for people to go to. And in 6 weeks, okay, we created a nice, short, easy to type URL, like it had 6 characters, okay, and bam. They were able to type it in, go there, and we had to turn off the ad campaign. It was an 8-week ad campaign we'd started. After 6 weeks, we had to turn it off because we were sold out. There was no room left in the inn. It was done. And so, yeah, you can. The key is to coordinate things properly so that everything is part of an ongoing marketing campaign with clearly defined goals, and every piece of it has a role in the marketing program.
Right. So, Anthony said, yeah, but it needs to be combined with social media, email blasts, posters, flyers, radio, TV, and everything. I don't know about radio, but I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Radio?
But here,
wait. There's still radio?
I know. Terrestrial radio.
No idea.
Which is awesome. So, and Rob in my ear said something to me, but I'm going to go back even further. Now, Tony and I, if you see Anthony on there, Tony and I we're doing, by the way, Full Throttle Vision TV is back on WeBeam TV.
Awesome.
Where it needs to be. We started that. Well, he had a little thing going, then we took it to another level.
Yeah.
But 5 years, was it? Tony, you have to help me out here if you're still watching. I think it was like 5 years, 6 years ago, we were doing a show down at one of the Harley Davidsons in St. Pete.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was St. Pete. And Harley Davidson, I like the way that they're kind of forward thinkers. Mm-hmm. So they had a poster. If you took a picture of that poster with your phone, it started a video from them.
Right.
So now that's not, and that was back then was new coming around. And we met a guy, sorry, Rob. We met a guy in last year at the Synapse event, which we're doing again in February. And they're a local company that they have that technology. So when you have a picture, mm-hmm. boom, it will actually start a video.
Right.
Which is the same thing as with the a long time ago.
They ran that on wine bottles recently.
Yes, the wine bottles they do it with. Like I have 2 Walking Dead wine bottles, and if you can download the app, put it up there. It'll start playing a video. Blah blah blah. We that's been around for a long time, but that's what QR codes were for. Yeah. Back in the day, when QR codes were, it's kind of funny that America really never embraced it heavy. Mm-hmm. In Europe, it's everywhere. It's a big deal over there.
And a lot of people don't realize that, again, iPhone, all you have to do, you don't need to load a QR scanner or anything.
Not anymore.
Your camera on your iPhone automatically recognizes QR codes, asks you if you want to go to the URL, and off you go.
Well, Google has it built in on the mobile device.
Okay.
If you go to Google, you'll see the little QR code thing right there. If you put a QR code up, it recognizes and it'll automatically start playing it for you.
Okay.
It's really cool.
Apple asks your permission.
Yeah,
Before
so
it
it
accidentally takes you somewhere you never want to be.
Right. Well, yeah, it's built in. Well, it's built in almost every device now. So QR codes is actually my personal opinion is everybody should be using QR codes.
Yeah, I mean, they can really take people
thanks,
where
Dan. I
you want them
appreciate
to
that,
go.
buddy.
And that is a great way to cross-reference again with your print advertising, okay? And it works exceptionally well on radio. That was a joke. But, you know,
Internet radio.
it's out there.
Yes,
Internet radio, there you go. Which I'm going to plug kryptonradio.com.
Before you do that, though,
Okay, go.
so on your podcast,
Yep.
right? When you're doing your podcast imagery, always put a QR code in there.
There you go.
It'll take you to a website. It can take you to a buy site. It can take you to a video site. That like with us, we do all video, but we rip and make, and we're going to start making. That's when the We Beam podcast is coming back, because we're going to make all of our shows are going to have their own podcast site for just audio. Because I know there's a lot of people. We had on Nerd Talk. We had one guy goes, "Do this in podcast form so I can listen to this," because we're kind of funny even without all the vision that visionary so we can do that. But yeah, if you're gonna like Tony, I think in Tony's magazine Full Throttle, I think he has QR codes in there, but he can have that technology in a heartbeat where you go down there, show a picture, and the next thing you know, a video starts playing, a video ad. I personally, I'm a visual guy, so I'm video. My wife gets angry with me, and I put my phone in the holder, and I put on a TV show, and I'm not watching it, I'm listening to it, but she'll go, but you're just going to glance down every now and then. I'm like, well, not always, but maybe. No different than...
Only during the fight scenes.
Yeah, exactly. It's no different than having a GPS in there. You look at the GPS every now and then to keep driving. So,
Yep.
But, yeah, anyway. But
kids, don't do that until you're at least 30 years old, because your brain is actually not developed enough to multifunction in that aspect. That's no joke. Check the research.
So here's the cool tech of the day, right? You can now hear Samuel L. Jackson's voice on your Amazon Echo.
Well, you can.
I think that's cool.
So we can have Samuel L. Jackson's voice instead of Alexa?
Yeah. You say you can just similar to what Google Assistant has done, Amazon is now giving customers the option to hear some familiar voices in addition to Alexa's default voice. Today, the company kicked off the Celebrity Voice program. It starts with Samuel L. Jackson. Amazon has announced that September this was coming, and as of today, if you pay 99 cents, you can have Samuel L. Jackson respond to Alexa's request for music, weather forecast, and all that kind of stuff.
But you have to start with, Alexa, ask Samuel L. Jackson to get the snakes off my plane, and then let's see how it works. That's what I want to hear.
I want a Jeeves.
Oh, what?
I want Jeeves on there.
Jeeves?
Yeah.
I actually have my phone set to British male. So that's what I have.
I have British female.
So I don't know. So are you guys Lyft guys?
No.
No, I'm an Uber guy.
No, as a matter of fact, I never once took them serious when they first started off with the mustaches.
That's right, they did, didn't they?
Remember?
Yes.
When they had making people put those pink mustaches on their car? I never took the company serious after that. Forget about you.
So they're thinking about getting into car rental service. Now, I didn't know you could do a car rental, but you can. Like downtown Tampa, a friend of mine is Topher Morrison, right?
Oh yeah.
And Topher he doesn't drive. He has a license, but he just doesn't drive. He doesn't own a car. He says because he can go in places in Tampa, and you can either take a car. I mean, actually, you can take a scooter, or you can do a Lyft car, an Uber car, whatever. But there's also places where you can actually rent a car.
Right there on the curb, like the scooter.
Yeah.
You walk up.
Yeah, you walk up. You have a little.
Log in with your app, and
Yep,
boom.
you log in with your app. The car unlocks, blah, and away you go. He drove here for an interview with me from Tampa, which he says, I'm coming to you. And I'm like, what?
Really?
Who's
You're
driving
walking?
you? He goes, I said, that's an expensive Uber. No, I'm doing the rental car thing. I'm like, oh, who you using? He goes, no, there's places all over Tampa where you can go and just do it. So, but
cool.
Lyft is going to try to launch a car rental service with no mileage limit. And they're starting in San Francisco and LA, like $35 a day. So that means that if I want to drive over to Orlando, or unless they have a geofence tied to it, so say I go downtown, I want to go to Orlando for the day.
That's a great idea.
It is a good idea.
Not only that, because if you return it without gas in it, the onboard OBD2 system auto detects that. So if they have a module plugged into the car,
Right.
they can tell how much gas is in the vehicle and it's parked and automatically bill you. So
Yep.
you can pretty much, the only thing it can't do is clean itself. So I guess you can just pretty much get rid of the whole person, the people, the
You know,
staff.
and you know what's interesting is you're talking about now the community has to agree to hold their standards, grow a backbone, return the car empty.
How about that?
clean,
We're right back to where we started with
exactly,
YouTube. We're all going to have to be
or
good
else the
people.
system's
Well,
going
the
to
next
fall
person
apart.
the
Because
next
who
person
wants to
comes in-
open the door and find out somebody puked in the passenger
Yeah.
seat?
Right.
But I think that's a great idea. I mean, it's not like they're already paying for the insurance to begin with.
No.
They
Well,
already
no.
have-
They're launching. I think from what I'm reading is the first. That's going to be a VW line, and they're going to do like the Passat and those kind of cars to be their
Wow.
first out, which
Nice.
is kind of cool.
Probably the cars that have like an app that'll be able to you use NFC to
Right.
unlock the car and start the car
Yep.
using some kind of
Yep.
digital
Yep.
code that's sent to the car.
So guess what?
I was just wishing they'd all be, Teslas. That would be kind of
Oh
cool.
my God, let's
I
not
would
get
just like
crazy now.
$35 a day. That's cheaper than buying one.
We got 35 seconds
Hear that,
left,
Musk?
so
Ah.
it's been a live show. If everybody saw my post online, I said you got to watch, and then I said, yeah, I'm sorry, I know I'm not supposed to tell you what to do, but it's going to be good information today. A lot of good. Now, hopefully, the last show of the year, we're going to do a tech bonanza of what's coming in 2020. That was Anthony's idea. I kind of like it. I think it's good for you
Could
too.
we play
so.
the Bonanza music?
Absolutely.
I know
With
the
that-
lyrics.
So with that
I
being
know the
said, if you
lyrics.
need us, text Shamans at webeamtv.com. If you like us, share us, like the page, share the page, let all your friends know we're here. We'll see you guys next week.
We got the plans cause we are the tech shamans. We understand cause we are the tech shamans. Dude, I got this cool thing to show you. Really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. Awesome. Yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Cool.